Okay, all right. I want to welcome everyone to the Board of Trustees for the Simon Fairfield Public Library in Douglas. Our first order of business today is the drawing of the winner of the wonderfully crafted, I know it's a dagger, it has a special name. I have my daggers t-shirt on just in case you want to see that. Made by Jim Saviano. Jim, do you want to give a couple words or?
Well, I'm happy to be here. Justin told me that we've sold 500 tickets, raised $5,000.
Wow.
It's a Quillian dagger, by the way, made of Damascus. And I know the people I sold tickets to are really anxious to see this drawn. So without further ado.
Yeah, let's do it.
Here's the pot. Final shake.
Drum roll.
Close the eyes. And looks like we've got a winner. Paul.
All right.
Crowley.
Oh my goodness. His box.
Oh!
That what he used to work because he's retired.
All right.
How do you spell Crowley?
Is he local or is he local?
No, he's in
Crowley?
Nantucket.
Oh, we'll all go deliver it then.
Yeah.
How do you spell Crawley?
Crowley, I believe.
Like Crowley.
No.
Crowley. Okay.
To spell it.
All right, we're ringing. I've never done this before. This is exciting.
5. Hope you get someone to answer the phone.
I know.
They're unable to answer right now. Hello, this is Justin from the Simon Fairfield Public Library. What can I do for you? Oh, are you on now? Hey. Thank you for answering your phone. I have a question for you. This is Justin from the Simon Fairfield Public Library in Douglas, Massachusetts, and I would like to know whether you want a Damascus steel Quillian dagger or whether you want $1,000. You won. Just pulled your ticket out of the pot. We did. You will take the dagger. I think that is a good choice. All righty. Well, can I? Awesome. Can I give you a call later to sort out the details? Awesome. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Cynthia and I are here. I had nothing to do with the drawing because if I did, you would not have won.
He says he has to take the dagger.
I'm very happy to hear that you took the dagger, Paul. You're gonna, it's mounted. It'll be great on your mantle, and I know that you will love it. Thanks so much for participating in the raffle. Okay. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. I have his address.
Thank you so much. And I'll be in touch later because we're in the middle of a meeting right now to sort out how exactly we'll get this to you. Okay? Oh, I think he took your goodbye as a final goodbye. Okay. All right. We have a winner.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
I will send you a copy of this.
Okay.
And I have his address and everything, so you don't have to call him back. I'll call him back later tonight.
Okay.
And I'll mail it to him.
Awesome.
I'm surprised.
Oh, we'll
you
drive
took the
it.
dagger.
Well, he's
I
too
don't
far
wanna go to
away.
Nantucket.
He's too far.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Now we'll get down to this trustee
No,
meeting business.
My buddies, a lot of the people I worked with me and Paul, in fact, bought tickets.
Mhm.
And I know they're gonna say, Jim, how did you fix that so Crowley won?
Well, you didn't draw, so they can blame me.
I'm so happy.
Thank
Okay,
y'all
take
so
care.
much.
Have a good night.
You too.
Bye-bye.
All right.
I take it I didn't win.
You did not win.
No. All right, are we ready to move on after this excitement, or do we need to just?
Yes, we are.
Did we get a total amount for the
$5,000.
We got
What was
stuff
that?
from-
$5,000. We sold 500
Nice.
tickets exactly.
Oh, on the, yeah.
Sweet.
So that's on top of what we got for the auction. That's great.
That is on top of what we got for the auction.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
wonderful.
And I got a $2,000 check from Unibank this morning.
I
This
saw
has been a
that.
phenomenal fundraising season. Like by the end of the week, people are going to be sick and tired of reading about how much money we've raised at the library.
Yeah, I know. Let's not tell them all the good news because then they won't want to give more.
All right. So somewhere I've got an agenda. Let me start sharing my screen.
Yeah, I'm just, you got me spoiled, Justin. I just wait for you to put your stuff up on the screen now.
Hold on. I'm working on it. I've been a little busy. Share.
Oh, come on.
Now. Okay, here we go.
We have a quorum. We did our knife raffle. Ellie sent out minutes from September 26th and October 10th. Let's start with September 26th. Hopefully everyone has had a chance to read them. If we have questions or corrections, now's the time. Hearing none, I'll accept a motion to accept the minutes from September 26th as written.
So moved.
Second,
Second,
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, minutes from September 26th pass. Moving on to October 10th. Do we have questions or comments on that?
I think the last sentence that I was talking about or it had taken, I had a grammatical error there. So if you can read sort of the last, I don't have the
didn't
minutes in
pick up
front of
on
me.
it.
Yeah, I just want somebody to correct it for me. What is it? The last sentence of the actual meeting say, not what the next one is, but
I don't know.
From which minutes? October 10?
October
yes,
10th.
October 10. So it was decided that the next steps for the library would be on October 24th. No, let's see. It was question.
Is it the last bullet point?
Maybe it was questioned if working with the town of Douglas might be more attentive to the library needs for the community. So knock out the word of.
Okay, we'll entertain a motion to make that correction.
motion,
Second,
Second.
all right, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so,
Now that's just making the correction, I think. Danielle, you have to accept the minutes now as correct.
we did. I
No,
said
you said-
accepted with the,
Okay.
all right. Okay. I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes as corrected.
So moved.
Second,
second,
other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye.
aye,
Opposed? Hearing none. Minutes from October 10th. have been accepted. I keep trying to move things with my mouse. I can't. All right, so,
How did I get down here? There we
all right,
go.
onto the financial report.
Did everyone read it? Does anyone have any questions?
I think it's good, Justin. I like it. I like how you've revamped it. If you could just walk us through, after we get through the budget and the actual expenditures here, then when we get to the investments and that, how that works, just walk us through it quickly if you can.
Okay, sure. So the municipal budget is, up here we've got the personnel line item. Underneath that is the, general line items, which are operational. So personnel, operational have to be separated. We're kind of precisely where we would expect to be budget wise at this point of the fiscal year. So there's nothing exciting here. Or the trustee account statuses, building donations. And I'm going to go just talk about these all three at the same time. Building donations, building donations with interest, and the trust fund are all accounts that have been voted to be reserved exclusively for renovation. So the equity is what we started the year with. Interest income, is what we have earned in interest, which I'm keeping track of now monthly. And there shouldn't be money out from any of these accounts until, we are paying people in the library. Building donations with interest. You can see we got a lot of donations this fiscal year so far. Interest also, $416.31. And then the trust fund is opening balances were $1,693. And it just is a small account left over from eons past that accumulates interest, and we're waiting to, nuke it when we build. The R.S. Douglas Fund, there's a $10,000 non-expendable trust that was donated by R.S. Douglas in the days of yore. And the interest can be spent on children's books. So right now, there's $2,325.72 that we could spend on children's material if we found something that, doesn't fit inside our, budget, our circulating budget.
Okay.
So it's not 12,000 minus 10,000. It's you have the full 12,000, correct?
Yeah, well, the 12,000 all exists, but 10,000 you cannot spend.
Okay, got it.
So like 2,325 of that is expendable. The reason I don't spend it down every year is just because there has not been a need, but also the interest, like that 2,325 is also earning interest, not just the $10,000 principal. So if we let it ride, we get a little bit more interest, and why spend money that's earning interest when you can spend money that's not?
Right.
Library grants is state aid, Library Incentive Grant, Municipal Equalization Grant, which we get in 2 grant disbursements every year. This account pretty much always ends higher than we spent because we can expect 2 dispersals between 14 and 20,000 total for the year before all is said and done. And so far, we've only spent 4,294. So, I mean, it unless we approve major projects of some sort, then, that account will probably grow. And $22,000 of it is reserved for building, just, so we can increase the number in our capital campaign funds.
Right.
Regular donations is just everything, any money that people give us that is not otherwise earmarked for something else. And so, like right now there's 140.45, but today I deposited 2,000, like from the Unibank grant. Since they gave that to us for nothing specific, we can put it here and then immediately spend it on ebooks, which is what they kind of told me they wanted it to go towards.
That's great.
And in this account, $50,000 and $50,500 are reserved for the capital campaign.
Okay.
The Carrick Fund is the last one. It is every year, the Greater Worcester Community Foundation gives us a disbursement from the William A. and Janet R. Carrick Fund, which funds a lot of different things, and we're part of it. So like every year they just calculate the interest that's earned on, whatever the Carricks left the GWCC, and then they divvy out, to their beneficiaries our fair share, basically. And so it should be perpetual. And so far, disbursements have ranged between 900 and 1,200, just depending on the year.
That's great.
And that's all. Any questions?
I just want to make a comment that I like that format. That makes sense to me. So I don't hear any questions or anything, so let's move on.
Here's the circulation numbers. No surprise, they're good. The door count for August.
I just wanted to make a comment about this year's numbers. When you go back to FY18, it's not that long ago, but it was like, the ebooks and that weren't taking off that much. But if you look at the books themselves, we've done a lot more in books, and we've more than 1,000 more digital loans since then. So you know how they said digital was going to kill the book business, but it's not at all. They're both growing.
Yeah,
No,
that's
we
good.
definitely have to maintain two collections now, basically, and because I made this point in the Board of Selectmen presentation where we were like shooting for average. Everyone presumed that digital media would subsume books and kind of replace them, but they haven't. Now we just have two expectations that we have to fulfill. It's just like another tacked on service instead of one service that bleeded into another.
Right.
But yeah.
But that's a good problem to have.
Absolutely.
It is a super good problem to have.
And every now and then I just really like to hold an actual book and read it. I use my iPad and Libby for pretty much everything, but I enjoy actually holding a book sometimes.
There are populations of patrons who, are, I don't think, ever going to make the digital shift to reading their stuff electronically. I mean, young kids, especially, you don't want to give them super expensive e-readers, or, even if they're not super expensive, they're breakable. Books are cheap and durable. So, that's what you give kids as chew toys.
I
I'm sorry?
Oh, sorry. I wonder what accounts for the audio and video going down. Just more ability to get it themselves, do you think?
Ability to get it themselves. Also, audio books. We just stopped buying once we started pumping all of our audio money into digital media, into ebooks, audio books.
Right. So you could get an audiobook through that rather than doing it that way. I think that's another reason why that number's down. Right? Justin?
Yep. And it, audio, this format is audio discs specifically.
Okay.
So it includes
That's right,
CDs and it includes audiobooks.
Mhm.
We don't circ a whole lot of either one of those things because a lot of people don't have CD players. A lot of the audiobook listeners, do it either in their car or, when they're at home doing chores or whatnot. And, just pulling it up on phones is easier than checking out a case that has 32 CDs in it. Which some of the cases have 32 CDs in it because spoken books take a lot of discs. But I feel like I'm babbling now.
No, you're doing good, Kevin.
The digital loans, and I think I've asked this, it'd be nice to know how many people are borrowing audio on digital loans and how many people are borrowing books on digital loans. Is that possible to separate out just to see?
It is, and I can report on it.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Audio.
For the next meeting, that would be good to know. or when you get a chance, just send it out to everybody.
Yeah, I can just send it out as an email because I'm pretty sure I
Yeah.
already have the data because it was required for ERIS. It's baked into the ERIS statistics that we have to submit to the state.
Right. All right.
So that is easily done.
All right. Just
Other
looking-
big things going on is that I'm talking to staff trying to come up with scenarios for increasing staffing and expanding hours. I've got like 3 different scenarios so far that I've budgeted out, but I want to think about them and try to keep people happy. I want to accomplish some other things too, if possible, because right now we have 9-hour shifts and 11-hour shifts.
That's
I would
nuts.
like to turn them into 8-hour shifts if I can. And I want to go ahead and tool the coverage and the structure for staffing we build now that it would be easy to adapt it to staffing 2 service points in the future. Because that is, a high probability that we'll have, like an adult circulation desk and a children's circulation desk at some point, or at least some kind of point of service down here.
Right.
Because, the basement's never going to be, an honest to God library without a public service desk down here. And as far as the possibilities of these actually happening, I'm talked to Matt, and he does not see anything unreasonable about a request. It's hard to argue against average levels of funding. I think that, even though the presentation before the Board of Selectmen didn't help a lot in terms of the building aspect, I think that it's really flipped the narrative when it comes to the library budget, because now instead of, why are you asking for more when you're already doing, X? Why do you need more? It's, how come you're not funded at an average level? How come we're below average? How come, our why is it that our taxpayers don't deserve, average library service? So
Yeah.
that I'm excited about that. And it's going to have, I think it's going to work. I think it's going to work out for us
I think
in
so.
budget season.
Good. I have a good feeling about it.
But I want to have this fine-tuned and refined, and we need to talk about it either at the next meeting, probably the next meeting. It needs to be on,
Yeah.
because budget season will be on us before we know it. So
Yep.
I will try to have scenarios ready for a presentation next month.
That would be good.
Which will include the
Is it
personnel.
okay? Is it
Eligible.
if you're able, Justin, would it be possible, and without violating open meeting laws, that you could send out the scenarios to us before the meeting,
Yes, that is.
so we can look it
That
over
doesn't violate
and
anything.
ponder
Let's get these
questions,
packets out
maybe
before
even
the
get
meeting.
back to you with questions, and then bring it up to discussion at the next meeting. That might be more moving things along a little quicker. I think that would be great.
So I will try to have them like in 2 weeks, maybe.
As long as it's before the next meeting, it's no huge.
Okay, 5 minutes before the next meeting.
Okay, a couple of days would be good.
Yeah, I'll get something in advance.
All right.
And the last thing that I'll include in my director's report is something that's happening for the first time in at least 10 years that I can ascertain.
Yay.
This coming Thursday morning before we open, we're going to have 45 kindergartners come tour the library, have a little story time, and I'm going to give them all the paperwork they need to take home and sign up for cards. And then the following Thursday, the remainder will be. But it's 45 one week and 30 the next week.
That is incredible.
It might be easier to give them the cards ahead of time when they're, than doing it sort of backwards, because then they could take out one. We used to do this in Sturbridge, but we'd have them all registered, and they would actually take some books out, one book each or something like that, and they could return them to the the school or whatever. But it
Right.
was nice to be able to not just sort of this excitement of coming to the library is big, you know, and for them, you know, that this is a field trip for them, and
Right.
and it's really nice to, you know, keep it positive and, oh, well, you'll have to come back and get the cards.
Right, I agree. Yeah, but I'm thinking logistically, Ellie, I agree with you totally. What did you say?
I
Jeff?
also agree. I just didn't have
45?
enough notice.
45? How is it? I know we used to do the same thing where we would get families to come in and then sign. Well, the families were actually there. That's the thing that's different,
Mhm.
is that the families aren't going to be there. So what is the, so
Look,
a
I
five-year-old,
wish we could have gotten forms sent out in advance so that they could bring
right?
them down. The kicker is parent signature. We just have to have a parent signature to register library card.
Don't
for
they
a kid.
have to do with parents? You know what? This is putting the cart before the horse so many times. If there was a permit, there had to have been a permission slip that went home
Yeah,
that the parents had
agree.
to sign. And somewhere on there, it could have said by signing, you know, check off signing to allow your child to go and letting your child get a library book and bring home a book that day.
Yeah.
I don't suppose that would make too much sense.
Well,
It had
normally
nothing to
we
do
would,
with you, Justin. It's all in it's all in the schools. That is there any possibility of that?
if we can, you know, just back up for 2 seconds, that would be ideal. Everyone knows that would be ideal, but we had to schedule this like it was scheduled yesterday, and the kids are going to be here on Thursday, so there's just
Okay.
not enough turnaround time. So what we're going to do is we're going to give the kiddos a really friendly form to take home for their parents to sign, bring back to the teachers. I can collect them from the teachers, and then we're just going to mail the cards home to the kids so that they don't have to come back here. We don't have to deal with the logistics of trying to get them back at the school. They can just get us the stuff. We can mail, and we can include some literature for the parents as well in that. So I think that's going to be, you know, it's making the best of a short notice situation.
Okay.
But if this kicks off next year, we will definitely do it in such a way that the cards will be created before the field trip happens.
Right.
But you do see that means some children will go home with a book and some will have to go home with no book.
No, nobody will.
Yes, because their parents will not have signed them in time, or they lost them, or
they're not going to be
not
signed
everyone.
in time, Betty. They're not going to be signed in time. It's not going to work out.
but you still have the second half of this 45 kids that are coming when? In 2 or 3 weeks? Do you have time?
They're coming in 2 weeks.
Yeah, so try to get that happening.
Well, we're going to keep the same procedure for all of them so that it doesn't confuse.
Yeah, you don't want one parent to say, "Oh, but my kid didn't get to take home a book, and my, the other one did." So, yeah, I can see that. That's exciting. That is really exciting.
Are they
So,
coming by bus or walking down?
I'm pretty sure she said they were going to walk down.
Wow, that's
from where is the kindergarten now? In the municipal center? No.
no, they're up.
No, it's
they're
up at the top of the hill.
The campus there.
What the heck? No, they can't walk from there. There's no
Well,
way.
that's not my problem.
No, they can't walk from there.
Yeah, because they used to be bused to our library in Sturbridge, and it was all paid for by the parent teachers organization, whatever that's called nowadays. But so that was, not out of the school budget, but and it would only be one class at a time. It wouldn't be like the whole.
Mm-hmm.
You'd only have about 30 or so kids there. And
yeah, well, that's good. That's good. Do you need any extra hands there to help out? I'm willing to volunteer.
I don't think so, because the teachers are going to be here, and me and Deb are both going to be
here. True. That's true. All right. Let me know.
Are they coming before the library opens then?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, they're coming at 9:30 a.m.
Great. That's exciting. All right. So
Which,
moving on.
if they're all signed up for library cards, it's going to make it a lot easier when they become middle school students.
They don't come at that age. They come when they're young and they're
But
influenced by.
if well, I don't want to belabor the point.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But no, I'm just saying that would be great to instill that, Ellie, that they become excited about it and want to continue,
Mhm.
you know? But
That
that's
was my favorite time every Wednesday morning. We'd have a class come and I'd get to, they'd listen to me. I just can't believe it. So, but I didn't have to do anything else.
Somebody listened to you,
I was
Ellie?
just saying, I'm the boss here, and this is this. But it was fun. I did enjoy it.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
it's going to be fun. 45 kids. It's going to be
Crazy.
chaos.
That's a lot of kids in that space.
Yeah.
It'll be like a summer reading Wednesday morning.
You got it. Love it. I miss those days sometimes. Anyhow, moving on to old business. Under building projects, under next steps, we had at our last meeting on October 10th, said, well, okay, where are we going as trustees? Where are we headed? Everyone had said they wanted to move forward with fundraising. So that's where we're at right now. The building options report, the final report Justin sent out. It's a lot to take in. I went through it quickly, the executive summary and a lot of the other things, the nitty gritty of what's needed. I don't know, do we want to get into a discussion of this right now?
I did not have a chance to read it.
What? Have you read it yet, Kate?
No,
I
not the
didn't
whole
even
thing.
see it.
It was a lot to read in one day.
It is. That's why I'm saying that maybe, and I read through it quickly and I kind of skimmed through, like I said, the draft was there, a lot of the informational things, the data, and that was in the draft. So I kind of skimmed through that, but I think I would
Are we
like to.
I'm just want to make sure we're talking about the same document. It's Mary's comprehensive report that's like a few dozen pages long. We got a few weeks ago.
Building project.
It's like
Okay,
98 pages long.
The final
Just-
building project.
Building program.
Building program,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Justin sent it out, well, actually today's Tuesday.
Yep, she sent it out yesterday evening, but we were having the auction reception, so I didn't see it until today, and sent it to y'all. And I have not had a chance to read it yet either.
I don't even have that email. I thought we were talking about the one from a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I had read through that, but I don't remember seeing anything. I just saw
It went out, it was sent today. I got it.
I didn't receive it.
It was
I don't think I did either.
It was attached to the Zoom meeting link
Yes.
email.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I just clicked on Zoom.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to
There's
suggest
the
that
director's report attached, and there's the building program as well.
okay,
I think I deleted
so
it. 'cause I
hopefully you didn't delete it.
Yeah.
Hold on, technology will allow me to get it back.
But the contents, are pretty much the same because, we've all read the drafts and, other than cleaning up formatting and, just correcting a few minor errors, she didn't change a whole lot, I don't think. I haven't reviewed it to make sure that's 100% sure. But I don't think that she did a whole lot other than just, final copy edit cleanup.
Right. I'm going to suggest that I'm going to ask to table this till our next meeting, and I'm going to strongly request every trustee to read through this and be ready to come to the next meeting with input, questions, concerns, where do we go, ideas. We as trustees that's our job. Our job is to make this library the best it can be and to be the overseers and the keepers of the flame, so to speak. I really hope that everyone here I know you work hard and we're all committed, but we need to start making a little bit extra effort to be more
Proactive.
proactive. We need to be united in what we do. We can have disagreements. We can have discussions, absolutely, because some of the best things come out of that. But we need to move forward as a unified body and as individuals who are willing to do a little bit extra, maybe take a little step out of the comfort zone to do a little tiny bit extra to bring the library forward, whether it's through community awareness, through being out there in the community, volunteering around and supporting the various things that the library is doing. So I'm gonna
I just want to make a comment or question. So two things. One, does anybody want to see this in a document that we could all collaborate on, like a Google Doc? Is that even allowed? I could upload it, copy it and upload it in moments, so that if we made comments, everyone could see them at the same time and it would be in real time. And then
I need to look at something in paper format. I can use a computer, but I cannot sit here and I need to actually have a physical paper to scribble on. And I did that and gave it all to Justin. I think for the preliminary one, but he didn't give it back to me.
I mailed it to Mary.
Oh, okay. The whole thing, because I think I wrote in pencil and it probably wouldn't have.
but Dawn, to just get back to your question on a Google Doc. I'm not sure, like Ellie brought up the point, how many people are comfortable with that. The other thing is, I'm not sure if is that is against Robert's rules. The open
yeah,
meeting
that's what I
rules.
wasn't sure about. Robert, it was
I'm
Google Doc
thinking it's
after Robert
not.
wrote.
I don't think we should do that. I think it's a great way. If it was a subcommittee, say we appointed a subcommittee and there was a subcommittee that worked on the building program, then you could do that. You could get together and do that amongst each other and then bring it back to the board to present at the next meeting. So that's another possibility. Is there anyone willing to work on that?
Are we talking about editing the building program?
We can't edit it at this point. It's final.
Right.
But we can talk
That was my
about,
assumption.
you can talk about
Oh, are we talking about next steps? Oh,
Yeah.
What do we
I
want
thought
to
we
do?
were talking about the building program. Okay.
right, what do we want to do? Now we have this information. What are we going to do with it?
Is there any objection to me sharing it with the public before the next meeting, getting it posted on the website?
I'm fine with that. I think it's a public document, isn't it?
Mhm. Yeah, it is. I just didn't know if we wanted to present it with a plan, and wait until that, or if we wanted to go ahead and just post it now, say, the process is done. This is what we've uncovered, and just kind of let people percolate on it.
And maybe it'd be like a survey. You know what I'm saying? It's the input from the community. That's what we're always looking for.
Post survey.
Post-survey survey. It's like the post-meeting
With just
meeting.
a slider
They're the
of,
most
you know, like,
important.
how many square feet are you willing to pay for?
Yeah, whatever. That's a good idea.
Yep. I think the public should know.
Yeah. So I don't know, this is a little old fashioned, but with the outreach that we did for the override, there was a lot of, knocking on doors and just talking to people. And I wonder if maybe like a meeting at the library to the public, like a little Q&A, or maybe there's some other out of the box way that we want to get the message out. We don't have to do that right
Would it
away.
be a public meeting, Dawn?
We don't really have a message yet, though,
Right.
other
Yeah,
than
maybe
this
not
is
just
what we
yet.
need, and we're, you know, like I'm kind of adopting this, you know, like, let's shoot for average is my mantra because it seems to be working.
I love it.
But the you know, like, just putting that out there and letting people know that, you know, this is what we lack, this is what, you know, other people have.
I think it's
So
great. I think it's great.
Yeah, but I don't think that we're all in agreement with what we should be doing either, you know.
Absolutely. No, no, not at
And I
all.
think your idea, Danielle, of, somehow outlining next steps is a good point, because my next steps may be completely different than yours.
Absolutely.
And what's important to each of us,
Right.
we feel
I'm
important.
a little confused, honestly, because this is essentially the same document cleaned up a little bit from what we saw. We've had a couple of meetings since. We're all still a little unclear or unified on what we want to do. So us reading this through and thinking about what we want, how is that different from what we've done a couple of weeks ago?
Anyone?
Well, we met, we had our special meeting to decide whether to move ahead with the MBLC grant for this round, which was one possible use of the library building program. So we voted to not pursue that. So now we're looking at what would our next steps be.
So should each of us write down our next steps and send them to Justin and Danielle or something like that?
No. What we should do, what I'm suggesting, is that everyone read through the final building program and just make notes of questions you have, ideas you might have. I mean, Mary spelled it out very clearly, what the community wants, what we have, and what the algorithm is saying that for X amount of people in the community, we should have this amount of space and these amount of things. So just to come back to the meeting, come back to next meeting and be ready to, we have to discuss this. We have to face this. We can't keep pushing it under the rug. And whether we decide to just let it sit, that's great. But I think we need to, again, I'm saying we need to be united. Do we let it sit? Do we keep fundraising? Do we, I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I don't know if anybody else knows, but maybe together we can at least get pointed in the right direction.
We should
I
reach
think
out.
that the big question that we had that the board needs to ask itself now is, do we want to prepare for a 2029 grant application or not? Because if we want to try to do this in 2029, the next steps are pretty, straightforward. We smatter, we broadcast this building program as much as we possibly can. And, we start building the the support, the mechanism, the campaign, the groundwork that we would need to win a successful funding campaign in 2029 and the following years. Or we do something else. One idea I had was to try to remove the outliers from the average calculations, because we looked at the building program. It's a 13,000 some odd square foot facility, and it's still not the average size of a library within our population range. But if you take out two of the really top outliers, I want to know how that changes the math, because two of the libraries in our population range are huge. One is Hopkinton, and the other one, I can't remember off the top of my head but they are like, if you're looking at a curve, most of the libraries are down here. These two are up here. Removing those two, recalculating the average, is that still close, or does it shave it down some?
Right.
And what would that look like if we tried to apply it to this building? I think that's a route that's worth poking. But regardless, I think right now the next step, no matter what we do, is to get this building program out there, and to start hammering home the message that, look, but this is what we should have and we don't. And, it's not a matter of, there comes a point when I don't know what I'm trying to express here. We have to decide whether we want to shoot for the
Average.
best, or we'll shoot for the best we're hoping we can accomplish, which I think, is average given, the fiscal proclivities in this town. Or do we want to do something that is going to be different, less cost effective, but maybe cheaper, and more in fitting with, like local preservation of this building and, preservation of the library as the charming place it is, rather than service expansion. Because those are two very different paths and two very different ways of looking at it.
Yes.
So I think that's what, you need to ask yourself whenever you're reading the building program is, A, do you think it's too much for Douglas, even though it's not average size? B, what would your priorities be? And C, thinking about timeline, because if we are going to try to apply for a 2029 grant application, we've got 5 years to really get our house in order, get our ducks in a row, and put forth a massively competitive and well thought out application. But that's also 5 years from now.
And so if we went that route, the 2029 route, we wouldn't be in this building anymore, right? We'd have to move to another location.
We would have to be prepared for it being a high probability, I think, without being certain whether or not it would work out.
I think we're getting into next month's discussion.
Yeah, but that's what we were doing last 2
All right,
weeks ago,
okay.
too. It's just we're repeating. I'm gonna draw up my thoughts and send it to all of you. And,
All right. That will be fine. Okay.
But we've got a building program. We can put that out there, and it
Yes.
may lead to discussion and conversations and action happening, in the broader community at large.
Justin, I think this might be a good time on the heels of the auction,
successful
the
fundraising
success of the
season.
auction and the raffle for the dagger. We're kind of in the minds of the community right now.
Mm-hmm.
This might be a great time to put that report out there, the building report.
Yeah, and
And
would it make sense to say, we had great gains, but we, say we're halfway to our goal or 35%, whatever it is, and just let people know, yes, we just got 17,000, whatever it is, but we still need several hundred thousand at least to get to where we want to be, and just kind of a reminder of what we're going for. We want everyone to be able to get into the building.
yeah. Well said. Right. So I think we should do that. And everybody needs to read through that and take it seriously and really come up with whatever you have to say, what your gut tells you, what your heart tells you. You want to do anything, that's fine. We're good.
I think those, I think we probably need to reach out to the people who aren't here as well. Maybe Justin can do that, the ones who didn't make this meeting, so they're doing this too. And we could almost compile it. It's not going to be like, it'll be in our own words, but you could almost see that, I don't know, kind of rank it. Like certain
Word
people
cloud.
are what?
You know, those word clouds.
Yeah, those word
provide-
clouds, right? But not
Make
literally that,
words
like
that are commonly used bigger and
like this is where we're going, 70% of us are going to be that mathematical, but
Mhm.
like the consensus
Yeah.
is together.
Okay. Can we move on? Are we ready to move on? Okay. I know, it seems like we've been spinning our wheels for a long time, Ellie. But
Yeah, 20,
Well, look at how much
25
these
years,
numbers go.
it's a long time. I've been here too long, I think, but that's where I'm coming from.
I understand. I totally understand.
And
But
luckily I don't have hip problems yet, but
I'll tell you, that was a perfect example. But anyhow, that I digress. So we're going to move on. Under grants, capital campaign.
It was a
Looks
good month for the capital campaign. An extremely good month.
Yes.
Went from 169 to 214.
Woohoo!
That's awesome.
All right. And we already talked about the carrot fund. And LRP updates from Rebecca.
Rebecca found the last complete and functional operational manual this institution had. It's 60 years old. So she is scanning it into a Google Doc. There's a couple things we're trying to do. I'm trying to shift everything to Google Docs because right now we've got some staff using Office. I'm using Open Office. But with the potential to collaborate and share and keep everything all in the same spot, we're trying to consolidate, get everyone working in the same digital workspace. And Rebecca's kind of a master of this. She's going to digitize things and, basically give me a list of what we need to update and complete a manual, which, I don't want to have a really restrictive policy manual where, staff are always having to consult the pages to figure out how to do their jobs. I like the atmosphere we have now where people, are kind of given the freedom to do their jobs and improve on them and, do what they see fit to accomplish their ends. But, before we expand library hours and, add at least 3 new people to staff. If this stuff happens next fiscal year, we need to have, at least a skeleton, a baseline, operational procedures that people can reference to know how to place a Comcat, how to place an ILL, how to open and close the building, how the alarm works, those kinds of things.
Absolutely.
So we're trying to do that, trying to get the schedule sorted out, trying to get everyone in Google Drive. And I've got to do a couple things with how we interface with the Evergreen system. Because right now we share usernames, which we really don't need to be doing anymore, especially if we have different, shifts. And so that's kind of forcing us to update the policy manual that, we've been meaning to for the last year.
there was Betty might remember, I don't think anybody else was on the board at that point except for me and her. But when Pete Tatro was a trustee, he really wanted to go through policy stuff. And I know that Barbara was on there too, because I remember she was trying to organize that whole thing and it was a policy type thing. So you might want to chat with Barbara a little bit about the Pete Tatro trying to do policy manuals and stuff like that, because that wasn't that long ago, but it was pretty far before most everybody else. I think Betty, me,
I
and
have a vague memory of that.
really,
We
Yeah,
did
I
a lot of
actually
the
missed-
policies, lots
What?
of policies, but
yeah. I don't think we ever voted on it, but we did go through it all. But Barbara might have all the paperwork and stuff like that still. I don't know.
Yeah, I used the word policy here, the last complete policy manual. The word I should have used is procedure manual. Our policies are good. We have a very strong set of policies that sort of govern how the library works, but like the procedure manual is just stuff like, which freaking breaker do you flip to turn the
Right.
fan on? Like, we don't have any documentation and stuff like that.
Okay, that sounds more reasonable. That would help the library
just-
run smoothly. Yeah. So
It's the
that's
kind of stuff that, if I wasn't here and Deb wasn't here and,
Right.
we had a
If
temp
somebody
or
opens
something
that-
come in to
opens
open the
up-
library,
And the toilet's overflowing. What do you do?
You
we
call
got to know where
Justin.
the supplies are and, what codes to use and all that jazz.
So if this is digital, people can search for it too, right? With the younger staff, and it'll just be quicker for anybody really
Mhm.
to be able
Yep.
to search rather than the paper.
Because with the Google workspace that we're sharing, it can just be a nested, like bookmark tab up in the bookmarks bar
Perfect.
that will show up on every staff person's screen whenever they're logged into, whenever they're logged into Google.
That's good. Okay, so let's move on to Friends. Let's hear about
Exciting
those
stuff.
auction results, Ellie.
Yeah, I got them from Justin and Donna. It's was $9,918, which includes
Mhm.
3 $100 donations that were given. That these donations were above and beyond, but they were specifically for the same things that the auction was for. So that was exciting.
Mm,
And
Awesome.
then as we hear $5,000 for the raffle tickets. So that brings us, just short of 15,000 that we'll be adding.
Well, once we add in what the Friends of the Library raised from the book sale,
That's true.
then it's over 15,000 because
Right.
Yeah.
the Friends
Well,
of the
yeah,
Library auction raised 9,918. The knife raffle raised 5,000, which is a total of 14,918. And then if we add the 429, I mean, that's $15,347 this
Yeah.
fundraising season, which
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah. In a
That's
month.
not Unibank. Plus 3,000. 17,347.
Yeah.
Let's
No,
keep
well,
it
the
going.
Unibank isn't for the building
It's different,
stuff,
but
and
yeah,
the
for the
Friends
building
were
stuff,
the
I
Friends.
definitely want to write up a newsletter next week, just talking about how successful the Oktoberfest book sale was that dovetailed into the auction and the knife raffle and all that put together is just been phenomenal.
Yeah.
be
And the
sure to
newsletter.
publicize the Unibank. Be
Yeah, I'm
sure
gonna
to
have to
give
do
them
that.
public credit for that.
Yeah. But it's for a different use too. I
Yeah.
mean, it's an important, but different use. But
Yeah, that'll be an entirely different story.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
that could
that's
even
true.
be like something in the newspaper. Maybe.
Yeah, I've got I'm planning today. I did the blog post and Facebook shares about the auction. Tomorrow I want to do the knife raffle. Thursday I want to do something about the Unibank thing and then send out a newsletter that combines it all.
So Justin, can you put a link on the newsletter to the building report? The building project?
I can.
That might be good. That might be a good way to get it out and then do it again just separately. So it's hitting
More people.
Mhm.
people.
Yeah, what I'm going to do with the building program is I will get that uploaded. I will link to it from the building renovation page, update some of the language there to, reflect what we're doing and what's going on. And I can link to that and the report specifically from the newsletter, because that will be, tied into the whole story. Like, this is how we raised money this fall. This is, kind of what we're eyeballing. This is why we're doing what we do,
Exactly.
because we need things.
Yeah.
And we don't want to be annoying about it and keep asking for, your tax money.
It's really, I'm just gonna say, it's really a shame that the poor library has to ask for it where other people are covered. You don't have to discuss.
No, but I think it shows how devoted we are as trustees too, that we will raise funds to help find that this will eventually happen.
Right.
And
Right.
it is pretty impressive. I remember you saying, Justin, that you wanted to set as the long range plan, LRP, that we would raise 200,000, half of what the original amount that we said that we were planning on raising, which was 400,000, but we would raise 200,000 by this December or something like that. So we've done it. We've bypassed that. So that's
Absolutely.
You come with
And
confetti. Do the confetti.
what other department, excuse me, but what other department in town has fundraisers?
Exactly.
well, the fire department does it occasionally, but you don't know. I think it's just spouses that are part of their fundraising stuff. And I think the senior center has what is it called? I can't remember.
Sunshine Club.
Yeah, the Sunshine Club. So they do stuff like that, and that's for trips and things like that.
In the
So,
schools.
but we raise money. It's not for our operating programs. It's for trying to do this capital. Help the
Trying
town.
to put a roof over our heads.
Because otherwise, if we hadn't done any of this, we would have no money. So I think it's good that it's there and that we are earning interest on it and everything else. So
Yeah. Well, we got to keep up the good work. Keep it up. The gathering, how did that go yesterday?
it was, I'd say, probably about 10 of us there, and we talked about real estate. And,
I was having a
things,
really,
everything.
I had a really rough few days with my hip, and
Yeah.
I like 2 o'clock. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to climb those stairs. And then I was like, I felt bad about it, and I thought, wait a minute, I'm going to make a statement about it.
Yeah, no, that was really good. I think that was perfect. That was excellent.
All right. So
I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah.
And Ellie made salsa verde.
Yeah, the food was awesome.
ooh,
Yeah, and Caroline brought lemon squares and I can't remember who brought cookies, but that was sort of nice. Joanne
Joanne.
yeah, brought cookies and Caroline also brought cheese and crackers. So it was, we ate well and just made us tea. So it was a tea party.
that's
Mm, that
nice.
sounds good.
Okay.
Wait, and did we get rid of the benches or one bench at least?
Both of the benches have winning bids.
Yeah.
So it's not the same person?
It's
I
not the same.
was curious why it went up to the, $1,300 or $130 each. That surprised me. So then I thought, well, maybe it was the same person that bought both of them.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's very exciting.
Okay. So under new business, unless we have other old business, no. Trustees up for re-election in 2024. Dawn, you're up for reelection this year.
Exciting.
That's
you
something you
running?
got till May to decide what you're gonna do.
No,
Okay.
before then, you have till about February.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll still continue.
That would be awesome.
Or I'd probably have to see.
Now, Lee, are you on for just till the next election and then you have to be voted in, or was that the way?
No, he's up, he's good for this year.
Okay,
The
so.
only one up is Dawn.
Okay.
I think I'm good for the three years seat.
Okay, because the person that, or I guess, yeah, that didn't run was
Right.
up for a 3-year position. So that's,
Right.
you were elected to a 3-year position, so.
Correct.
Gotcha.
The only difference was I was a write-in.
Yeah, I know,
Right.
that's great.
Yeah, I have it in my Google reminders for January 23rd to look and see if anyone needs to file papers. So we won't miss
Okay.
that vote this year.
I'm way ahead of you, Justin. I'm trying to be proactive here.
Is there anybody else up for reelection?
No, just one person every year.
Okay.
It goes in cycles, so.
Yep.
It's just,
The
there's just 3
following year, I
elected
believe
ones.
it will be Dana.
Okay, so there's just 3 elected trustees and then there's 5 lifers.
Okay.
Lifers. Should I have an orange jumpsuit?
Mafia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other new business?
Not for me.
All right.
Now, Justin, I remember you mentioning the talking to the Armenian church people about the front door.
Oh, yes. I forgot all about that. That slipped in my mind and all the rest of the excitement. I did get a quote. So I will need a vote of approval for this. Hold on 2 seconds, and I will tell you what it is for the doors. Okay, so sometime this winter, whenever it's slow and snowy, the proposal is to take the front doors off of the library and then just put up a temporary barrier wall that won't be, anything that anyone can get in and out of. But for a couple days, he'll just need to take the doors off the hinges, take them to his workshop, and sand down, restore, varnish, all that stuff, and then bring them back. So for a week, we would probably need to just operate by letting people come in the back doors, either through the basement or the fire escape. But as long as we do this in the winter, which is when he wants to do it, I don't think it'll be a problem because traffic is low in December and January. And we got to get these things fixed. The estimate he gave us is $5,908. And that is removing the doors and finishing them with like a naval wood varnish that's meant for boats.
Mhm.
And also replacing the hardware, because he said that, if we were to finish these doors up to their original glory and then put them back on the same hinges, it would just be a travesty. So, new brass plates, new kick plates, new bearings, hinges, and caps, just to make the front doors look epic, for $5,908.
What
And
did you call those things? The extras? They're not called extras. The
Hardware.
hardware.
Brass ball bearing, hardware.
So who is this? What does it have to do with the Armenian church?
This is Mahoney's Home Project Solutions. They're the ones who
Oh,
restored the Armenian church doors in Whitensville that everyone ran
Oh, okay.
on Facebook.
Okay.
So it's called Mahoney what?
Mahoney's Home Project Solutions out
Home
of Northbridge.
project.
I have a question. So it would, during that time, the front door would be blocked.
Yeah, because there would be no front door.
All right, so do you need two egresses?
We will still have two, but as long as we keep both of our rear doors open.
Oh, there's two rear doors?
Yep, there is the stairs that go up to the fire escape landing that goes into like the children's room, and then there is the one that goes into the Carrick room downstairs.
All right, as long as you've thought about
And
that.
his idea was, wait until there's like a nor'easter or something on a Monday, and then he could come get them, when we might be closed anyway, and then try to work around Fridays when we're not open, just to minimize the
Another
amount of
thing
time
would
that we
be,
have.
okay, Justin, another thought would be if he could do it the weekend of Martin Luther King. You're closed on Friday. So you got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You'd have to do Tuesday, Wednesday, you'd have to do maybe Thursday, maybe just 3 days of that. Is that a possibility?
Oh yeah, that's January 15th. It could be. I can poke him about that.
That way you've got that many days when nobody's there.
Yeah. And you would just close the library somehow on that Saturday, so you would.
No,
Right.
I would plan on being open in it. It would just be a bit of a, difference. Patrons wouldn't be able to come in the front door.
Right.
And
I
where
guarantee that, after we,
I forgot.
if we do this, there's going to be some patrons who are like, well, why can't we come in the fire door all the time?
So
Can't.
what are you suggesting as the funding source?
That was my other question.
Grants?
So that's LIG, MEG?
Sure, works for me.
All right.
LIG and EG donations would work. I mean, it's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Oh, that might be fun to have it as donations. I think that would be sort of say, thank you, community, for giving us this money. This is what we're spending it on. Do we have that amount there? There was
Yep.
one that's
That would be nice, Ellie. I like that
Yeah.
idea.
We got.
Make it real.
yeah.
Make it real, Ellie.
Where's our regular
Right.
donation?
Oh,
Yeah, 50,500 is reserved for the capital campaign. So we've got. Let's see, how much was the project?
5,000.
So
5,000.
you've got plenty in there.
So you have
No.
8.
Oh, we have 8,000. Okay. Yeah.
You have plenty in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'll move that we hire Mahoney's Home Project Solutions to refurbish the front doors and replace the hardware. The price of $5,908 to be funded through donations, regular donations.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
I'd just like to amend that, Ellie. I'd like to
Sure.
amend that amount up to 6,000.
Okay.
This is already a highball estimate, so it won't go over it.
All right, I just wanted to make sure we're covered. So
Okay. So
can
do you
we,
want it to go up to 6,000?
I would like
more
that.
than, no more
Yeah.
than.
No more than an amount not to exceed $6,000, it should read. So can we move on that, or do we need a separate?
So run upstairs for 2 seconds. I'll be back.
Right. So we need another motion then, I guess.
Okay. Motion to hire Mahoney's blah, blah, blah. To refurbish the front doors and replace the hardware.
At an amount not to exceed 6,000.
at an amount not to exceed $6,000, funded by regular donations.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, the motion has been approved unanimously. I like that.
Me too.
Very good. That's a
I think
nice,
it's going to be beautiful. I really do. It'd be quite something.
I think that's a really, really great idea to do
Yeah,
that and
but
say,
have-
this is part of this is
Oh.
what your donations are helping us to do.
Justin.
Yeah, I know where you
and
are.
if you haven't seen it, you should, when the next time you go down Church Street, is it in Whitensville, and look at the Armenian church there. The door is just gorgeous. It really is.
Yes, I see it. I've seen it. Yes, it's beautiful. All right, so I think we're done. And we can't see the agenda, but I believe we're done.
Yeah,
That was our other new business. All right.
Yeah,
So
all
here
we
we-
have is the next meeting's date.
I'm back.
Okay.
November 28th, when is Thanksgiving?
It's before
it's,
then.
it's the 22nd, I think. 23rd.
23rd is the Thursday.
23rd.
22nd is Wednesday.
I always know for my daughter's birthday.
Oh, my sister has the same thing.
All right. So I will accept the motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Moved.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
As Joe used
Aye.
to say, it's a standing move, standing vote.